Morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. We are back over here at our driveway at our house with two driveway project. We're working a rotten back. I wanted to get here last week, but we had so much rain. It was just a little bit too muddy to get into. So what we're doing is a rolled slate patio, a big fire pit area, and then connector walks, connecting everything up. Also, they want to set up for possibly a covered porch and a fireplace on the patio. So I brought the 301. We're going to dig some little footers and get those poured while we're here working. I just switched out the 3-foot grading bucket just to my smallest 1-foot bucket and take care of those footers. So it's a little bit early. I'm just greasing the machine up and we'll head around back shortly. Stay tuned. Shot of this. We drilled into the foundation, not the framing of the house, but we're down in the concrete, and we put stubby rebar sticking out, and then our long rebar go right on top of it. Expansion joint against the stone. If we pour into all these little crevices, then when it moves, it'll chip. I don't like the expansion, but it really doesn't look that bad. And they can always caulk it with color match caulking, but it's way better, it's much better than doing that than pouring tight into all these stones. Okay, we are underway. Concrete's still a little bit tight. You think it's going to come down? Okay, up a little, Ken. We are out of chairs, so we are just picking the rebar up. Okay, it's still pretty tight, but it's coming down the chute okay. With these big long steps, we wanted that concrete. That's probably a 3-inch slump, and this is probably about a 4.5-inch slump. This is a 1B stamp mix, real small, tiny aggregate. It makes it stamp real nice. Even though we're doing rolled slate, we like to use our stamp mix. It's up to you guys. It's coming down okay. Okay, so we come up a little bit short. We have enough concrete for the patio, just not my footers. Not a huge deal. We have more pouring here. I would have just liked to have been done over in this corner. Good job, Steve. That was some tight concrete to be straight edging.
Even the 1B.
Okay, patio is all edged. Steve's laying cuts. We're gonna do a center cut, and then we're gonna come off of that corner and come out. So that's going to be off center, but it's going to be close. Steve, let's even jump it up to the middle of that wall. Right between the end of the step and that wall. That'll get us more centered, but we want to stay away from corner of the step. Corner of the step. Nah, because we have step liner there. Let's miss that. We'll go center of that wall, straight out. That way they're pretty close to even. I like that. Driveway. Because this corner is going to drain that way. So we're setting up our height for our fire pit area. We pulled a string off of the sidewalk level. We pulled a string off of the patio over. And this is falling that way just a little bit. So all this water is going to continue to wrap around. Our nail right here is our height. So we have about 8 inches. I need to get some more stone in here before. So that's closer to our height. Now we'll take our ring and put it in place and get that pinned out in a circle. 16-foot diameter, 8-foot radius. So we'll find our center and pull a tape measure and go right around it. The guys are putting in cuts over here. That should give us good protection, as well as I think it looks nice. Okay, they're just finishing up in front of the step. That looks nice. Steve, which way you heading off? You coming right off here where Matt is?
Yeah.
Alright, you ready to start rolling anything?
Probably.
Okay. As soon as Steve gets halfway, I'll get a sprayer going. Okay, we just have a couple spots to deal with there. The little wheel was leaving a line on that step. I'll let that get a little bit harder and hit that one more time. That'll be all taken care of. We're going to add storm gray to this in a little bit. Roll it back and forth, diagonal. Change up that pattern. Give the rollers a flip. Jim got the fire ring formed up, 16 feet diameter. So we put a center pin. He pulled 8 foot from the radius, getting everything nice and trued up. So I'll get a little touch of stone in there and maybe right here. I think we're pretty good. Okay, so that is our cut pattern for our fire pit area. We came parallel off of the driveway, and I wanted to pull a string down the house, but it didn't quite line up with the center of our fire pit. So Tom did the same measurements around each corners. I think it looks pretty good. So lastly, we'll get this connector walk in and then to the driveway. We're gonna have to power buggy through here to hit this. We're all trapped inside here. So we'll have these forms cut and ready to go. As soon as we get done pouring, we'll throw them in. So we have 3 different loads: patio, fire pit, and walkway. We'll see how close of a match we are. It's the same exact recipe in every single truckload of concrete. Okay, Steve has one more piece of pie to do here.
It's not a square?
No? Why?
Because you called it a square.
I said everybody take their square.
Yeah.
Man, these guys dime on every word that comes out of my mouth.
You don't mess up often, so we kind of have to.
So nice texture everywhere. Stand back and look at it. The sun hits it differently. So you just stand back and get different angles on it. And make sure you get good impression everywhere. Now the patio is drying. It looks real dull. So once this is all done and completed, I'm going to add storm gray antiquing to the surface and give it that two-tone look. So this is a nice day for concrete. It's drying nice and slow, getting strong. So we have conduits and pipes underneath here for sprinkler, electric. We need one more section for over here. Gas line for the fire pit, aiming right towards their gas connection at the house. What else? I just called in our last load of concrete, 4.5 yards for this section of walk. So every single load was 4.5 yards. Same exact color, 4.5 yards of color in it. Should be a good match. Okay, we'll get cleaned up here a little bit. Grab a quick sandwich. Grab a drink of that coffee and see you in a little bit. Okay, our final truck just showed up. I put the color in it. We'll put about 50 to 75 revs on that drum, get it thoroughly mixed. One power buggy is going to head right through here and dump into the walk. Oops. And the other buggy is going to head all the way around and come down this hill and catch that little section right there. We can't fit through right here. So I'll try and get the camera positioned where we can get some good footage on all this. I'm going to be jumping around a little bit. As you saw, the pour went pretty well, pretty fast. 2 power buggies, one coming in this way, the other one looping around. rather than standing there waiting on it, get the concrete in there before it starts setting up. I like all of our heights. Everything from here is draining down around that way. Right here, everything continues to drain right out the driveway side. Excuse me. Nice little connector walk. We splashed the concrete a little bit. Now we're not going to touch that until everything is good and hard, and then we'll just brush that off. Same thing over here. I noticed a little bit right there. We'll get that cleaned off as soon as it tightens up a little bit. If you touch it too soon, it just smears and makes a mess. So let's get cleaned up, load the power buggies up, start getting stuff to the truck. We have one more project to do today for tomorrow, but we got some more work here yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, concrete's still really soft. All our cuts went in nice. We shoot for about a 5-foot pad. On our bends, we lay out the outside of the radius, so we're 5 foot and smaller. We have this big pad in the center. Each walk that comes in, each walk that comes in, it's going to want to crack right there. So we put a cut, and then we took a float and wet stabbed it to really get some good separation, and then we just closed it back up. A lot of people are commenting, you know, what happens when water gets in there? What happens when water gets in there when it cracks? Same exact thing. It's just going to filter down into our sub base and gone. So we'll get this all troweled smooth, opened up, and ready for a roll. Rolling time. Try and keep up out of everybody's way. Handles flying everywhere. Just hit it in every direction. Flip, hit again. Matt and Tom are on the little wheels going around the edges. If you go over it with the big wheels, when it's this soft, it just mushes the joints together. It doesn't look real clean. So that's how we like them to look, right there when we are done. Couple squares to go. Who's going to be done first, Steve or Jim? Steve only has 1 square left. Jim has 2.5.
It's a race, Jim.
I'll get a close up. Once I add the secondary color to it, it just really highlights those highs and lows. Highlights the highs and lows.
Now.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Instant Slate. Do you have a little spot there yet?
Yeah. I won't.
There you go. All right, keep cleaning up. So I said earlier I was going to go ahead and color this with storm gray right now, but I'm going to wait until tomorrow and I'll use the permatique. I'm worried this morning's patio is going to come out lighter than our brand new sidewalk that we just poured if I try and do it now. I'm going to let everything age one day and do it all at the same time with permatique. So that's where we'll leave this. I'll pick it up there tomorrow, probably about 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I'll be here.